What is going on, everyone? Happy Sunday morning. Woo, I got a lot of stuff going on here, man. Just getting rid of some old rugs and putting new ones down. So I've been doing a lot of cleaning, and then a lot of stuff started coming in here. So boxes have to get broken down. But this video is about the one-wheel pint. This isn't much of one because I've taken it apart already. I do a tire change, which is we're going to talk about right over there in a second. But this is like the first one-wheel pint that I've ever had, got to work on. So I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an explainer on this stuff, and then I'll also explain how to change the tire on this, because that right there is a kart racing tire, which is something I'm very familiar with. Is I race karts, and I'll show you guys how to change one of those. Um, there's not much to it really. It's like 10 screws, 10 of these small screws right here. And this thing's gonna get cleaned up. This guy rides it on his ranch. It's just pretty cool. He gets around in his ranch on this. Um, so it's 10 of these screws right here. So there's 4 right there. Oh, there's 4 of these, right? Right there, there. And that's for the fender. Then you have the foot part area right here, which I think is in the garage. I thought I brought it over here because I'm going to be cleaning that. That's another 4 screws, and then there's 2 that go on the bottom. Okay, so to get access to the wheel, you first take these 10 screws out, right? The 4 for the fender, okay? Then there's 4 for the front foot part area, because this is the front. It goes this way, right? So there's your controller and gyro and all that stuff right there. Um, the wheel, it slides in from the bottom into this right here. This is the other bracket. Again, it's dirty, but that bracket goes like this inside of here, like that. And then got 4 of these, right? 2 go on each side, and that's what holds the wheel in. Okay, so it's not that much. And one last thing, after you put those screws in, these 2 brackets, let me show you where they go. These 2 brackets go right there. So that bracket screws onto the bottom of this, and that's what literally holds all this bottom part into place here. So there's not as much to it. This is like a skateboard, man. There's the battery right here. You just know the power wire runs to the controller. This is for your wheel and what have you. That's right here. And I'm trying to see what else is there to this. Oh, so that's the one wheel in a nutshell. Again, this is very simple, so there's not a lot to it. However, kart tires, on the other hand, are a tricky beast, okay, because they're tubeless, okay? They're tubeless, and they have a bead, okay? So you're not going to change these. And not only that, this is actually a racing slick. So typically with tubeless tires, let's say if you did get a puncture, typically what you could do is you could plug it. You could plug a tire up to twice. You could 2 times, and they can't be in the same area. So usually that's one quick, easy way to do this fix. However, on this one, let me see. When he was riding around, he literally sliced the tire right there. Okay. Then, in order to try to fix it, they put some slime in there, which made this a pain in the ass to debead and get off, because that slime kind of acts as like a gasket, almost like a sealer. The problem is that it doesn't seal where the puncture is. Where was that at? Oh, so I think it's on the other side. Where? Oh, right there. So it does see, because you can see what was happening was the puncture went all the way through. So the sealant was just leaking out. You can see it right there. It was just coming out. So you got to basically break the bead on this damn fly, dude. You got to break the bead on this. Okay, you got to break the bead on here. There's a couple ways to do it. Now with regular kart tires, usually they're super soft. You could do it with your hands, dude. Like, I even have competitions to see who can change the most amount of tires with their hands in like 1 minute or something. I think my record is like 6. I think I did 6 tires in a minute. It's like 5 or 6. But you see how the axle kind of sticks out slightly? So what you don't want to do is set that on the ground and then try to do what I'm going to show you, because you can mess something up. See how that sits out? So what you want to do is you want to kind of anchor the axle in between, say like two stones, well, not stones, but bricks, right? Or blocks of wood. So you're going to put it like this. You want to make sure, let's see if we can see up under there. Yeah, the axle's not in the way. Okay. So you'll take the tire and you'll set it like that. Then you want to take a big old 2x4, right? And you want to stick it right there, right by the rim. All right. And then you're going to stomp on this thing. Boom. And what it's going to do is going to push it down like that, and it'll debead it. And you do it on both sides. And once you've done that on both sides, you've got your tire debeaded, and you can change it. Now you see how soft it is now? See there? So it's debeaded. So now I'll use my spoons to just pop the rim over it and yank this off. And then I'm gonna show you what we are replacing that with. This Mama Jamma. So we are gonna replace that 10 by, what is that, a 10 by, it's 10.5 by 4.56. Okay, this is a lower profile road tire. It's a 10 by 4.56, right? So this will have a lower profile on the rim. It'll have a much lower profile, and I've heard this guy say these tires just ride better on there. So when that comes off, here's how easy it is. You literally, you angle this. Let me show you how you put this, when you put the new one on, make sure the tread's going in the right direction first. Okay. So when you have this tire off and you just have the motor and the rim right here, what you do is you put this at an angle like this. Okay. You put this at an angle, and then with two hands, you push on both sides, and it'll just boom, it'll just pop right onto the rim. And then after that, that's when you have to beat it. So you need to throw a nice shot of air in there. So the easiest way to do that is to take the valve stem out. Okay. You take the valve stem out, you make sure the tire is all the way around on the inside, and that the inner valve part is beneath the lip or the bead on the tire. And with the valve out, you're going to take a straight air nozzle, from an air compressor or whatever. You take the nozzle, you're going to stick it right in that hole, and you're just going to shoot air in there. And what it'll do is it'll rapidly expand the tire and push it out onto the bead. Once it does that, and you need to hear the bead pop. You need to hear 2 pops, one on each side, pop, pop, and then you know the tires are beaded. Then you put the valve stem back in. Then you go ahead and put your air in, and you put it in at the right pressure. Okay, so OneWheel Pint tire change. How to actually do it by hand with rudimentary tools. That's how you do it. All right. I will do another video when I'm all finished with this. It probably won't be till tomorrow because the shop is closed and I need to use the compressor. I don't think I'll be able to get this beaded by hand. I'm gonna have to use the shop compressor. So yeah, OneWheel Pint tire change, how to debead the tire. And I'll do a follow-up video tomorrow when this is all done. All right, you guys have a good rest of your Sunday. Peace.